maybe ask a bit more about the contraction or that the grasping.
Yeah.
Um, and disclaimer, I'm a little out of it. The last few weeks been a bit crazy, so I don't know if I'm sleep deprived or wired or something. I'm fighting a lot of sleep pressure right now. It's hard to like focus on things. Um, and I'm unusually unable to form this into a question even, but just several things you've said over the Zoom call so far. It the words you're saying like feels very relatable to ways that I would describe some of the frustration or grasping or things that seem to be dancing around here. Um, but it's just very easy to overthink it, I guess. And it just I'm trying to form into a question. It seems simultaneously very simple to state what should happen or not needs to be done, but just staying with this immediacy and not getting pulled in by the thoughts or the which can either be thoughts about me or about the world. But it just also almost seems impossible of just in terms of yeah, it requires letting go of everything that it feels one needs to think about to function. Um, I don't know. It was easier for me to react in my mind to hearing you say things. It's hard for me to even like form it into a question when I'm trying to. But yeah, there's something that's just really unsatisfying about where this is at, but I don't know how to put it into a good question.
So, like looking out at your experience right now
Yeah.
without relying on any conceptual answer at all, what are you? You can't answer this with thought.
No. Um, it's just really quiet.
You're so used to it, probably with work and stuff. You're so used to immediately going over that urge and then going into figuring something out, you know?
Yeah.
Or like you want to give me an answer that I asked you that question. You want to give me an answer, like your mind wants to give me an answer. But what do you do if you don't let the mind do, like you don't take the mind's answer for anything at all?
Yeah. I
What's
mean,
left then?
it might just be because I'm so sleep deprived right now, but like it just hit nothing. Like it not even like there's the urge to try to give you an answer, but it was like idling, just kind of sitting.
When you said that thing you posted the other day, when you said that, um, I don't remember all the paragraphs, but you said something about it got real uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What was happening then?
It was basically, I don't know how to say without I subject object
Oh yeah,
disjunction.
it's all right.
It it's like I was where I just was when you asked that question,
Mhm.
but but it wasn't okay to stay there because
Why wasn't it okay?
right there's no that this is maybe part of the frustration that I cannot find a reason and there isn't it, it it neither can I find a reason why it's not okay to actually just stay here, nor can I feel okay staying here. Like it seems like it should be one of the like either it's fine or there's a clear reason why it's not fine. But neither of those work. It's just uncomfortable. And I like
But that's where you want to be. You want to be uncomfortable. because you're retreating into the mind either way. You're like, either way, it's not, it's like, if it's this, I got to do this. If it's not this, I got to do this. Otherwise, it's uncomfortable. But the uncomfortable part is where you want to stay because otherwise, you're conceptualizing something that's not conceptual.
Give me a second.
So when you're looking out at the world and you got form, shapes, and colors, sounds, all the stuff in your environment, and then thoughts are appearing, it's like there's something there that does not have to go into thought. It doesn't have to go into mentation at all, any kind of mentation. And there's an urge there prior to that mentation that is the urge to go. And that
Hmm.
can be seen and then not followed. And then it can get real uncomfortable there. And then maybe
Yeah,
fear will come up. Uncomfortableness is a form of a version of fear. And if you stayed with it uncomfortable long enough, you might have a lot of fear, like some real fear come up.
it's
You're
a
so
lot.
hardwired, like I was, you're so hardwired to logically, okay, this is not, I'm really going to get it. I could tell by the way you write your stuff to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
it's
and then that's
great.
part of
It's
what broke
great.
it.
It's great for, no, it's great for incisiveness, though. It's great for backing out of your conundrum, but it's only great until a certain point, and then you can't rely on it anymore. And that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to not rely on your intellect.
Yeah, and this, and but I'm looking here because that's where you're showing up on my screen. I realize now the
Okay.
camera's there,
It's
but
like, that's all right.
I don't know how to change the grid. But just if I'm looking here, assume I'm looking.
No, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah, it's and it was exactly that. That's part of what broke, collapse, or well, that's peripheral context. What's interesting right now is I'm noticing as you're asking questions and pointing, it's surprisingly, I don't know if it's less uncomfortable or if it's just easier to sit here, or again, it might honestly be that I'm a bit sleep deprived.
Tired, yeah.
When I try to do it on my own, though, to stay here or to not react like that, that's feels 100 times more slippery. Um,
Because you're alone. Because you're
yeah,
not with us and not with, you're like, oh, it's like I can go. Well, that's what some of the pointing with teachers are for, is like someone's in the battle with you. It's like, oh, okay,
Mm.
I can feel this feeling. See it Angelo do it all the time with the double barrels when somebody will get upset. And he's like, just feel it. I'm here with you. I'm feel it. It's like, oh, okay, I got permission to feel. But your mind doesn't want to give you permission to feel or to be in the unknown. It wants to take the reins and go, come with me. I can solve this. You know?
Yeah, okay, and it's when it's
So,
just
like, one good inquiry for you might be when you're in that place, it might be something like, why is it not okay to stay here? Like, ask your mind that. Why do I need to leave this? Or why is it not okay? Something like that.
yeah, yeah, maybe just need to keep kind of probing it. It's funny before even I started talking, it was already uncomfortable because there was this flickering sense of if it settles back here, sometimes there can be just this very uncomfortable sense of like, like you don't even exist, or like the opposite world doesn't even exist, and that's very aversive. Um, but interestingly, talking now, it still feels settled here, but it doesn't feel like the solipsistic closed in that it often feels like if I'm trying to do it on my own. And I'm
Mm.
trying to feel into why it's different right now, but
It doesn't feel that way right now, you're saying.
well, I've used it too many ways. One of the ways that it can feel uncomfortable when I'm trying to practice on my own is there can be what I would call just a solipsistic fear, meaning a sense of if it starts to feel like, this isn't solid in the way that I take it to be, then it suddenly feels like none of that exists. I'm all alone, which again, this is a feeling is not logical and that's still dualistic, but that's kind of an aversion.
Yeah.
Whereas now, and that's kind of what I was expecting to happen, but now it doesn't feel like that. Like there isn't a sense of, oh, there's just this existing and none of that's real. And I don't know, I'm kind of just trying to feel into things as we're talking and running on very little sleep.
When you're
Um,
working with this by yourself, is this something you're doing for like are you doing like inquiry or are you like sitting in meditation for a while when you're doing this? Is this just something in the moment?
it's Well, the last month or two, it's been completely spontaneous and unplanned because from the moment I've woken up till like well past when I should go to sleep, it's just been work, 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 work. So it's
Yeah.
whenever it just grabs.
Yeah.
There have been a couple times where it just grabbed for, I think it was about an hour. Again, completely unplanned. I was just sitting and noticed something, and then it just, oh, then I noticed this, noticed this, noticed this. And I would describe it as inquiry, but it's sort of like spontaneous inquiry, and it's often not even verbal. It's just kind of noticing things, and then
Yeah,
attention will.
that's good inquiry. That's energetic. That's feeling into it in the moment. That's good.
But
That's the way inquiry worked best for me. Like if you're going, you're sitting there and you're like, who am I? Who am I? It's like that's dead. It's got to
yeah,
feel energetically enlivening. It's got to feel like, oh yeah, this is something. This is something. And then you just probe into that and ask, whatever question feels right in the moment. It might be some weird question that doesn't even sound like inquiry. Like I just said, like, what's not okay being here?
yeah,
And looking directly like, what's not okay?
right. Because the inquiries, and this might just be how I interpreted them, of it often almost, I guess I don't like the mantra approach or inquiries. The way I've often heard it described, and I'm not saying this is the intent, but it's how I interpreted it. It sounded like, ask the inquiry and then sit and wait for something to happen
Mm,
in a sort of a passive, I'm waiting for something that's not me to speak up or to do something. This is felt more active of not, oh, I'm waiting to see what happens, but more of just like, no, I actually want to figure out what this is. I'm using words now, but not as like a verbal question. It's just like, no, 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 but what actually is happening? And it's got more teeth, but it's
yeah.
also disorienting. Yeah.
Inquiry for me was more like um, it's like you're swimming in underwater energy and you're moving in a current. And depending on which way you look or ask, like the current would move, like I would move
Mm, mm.
in the current. Like I feel like it's like underwater, and I can almost feel the energy of when I'm asking the inquiry, because to me this is all energy. So it's like when I when I would ask a question that would, I don't want to say excite me, but would felt like I was being taken in deeper, then I would feel almost like a current. It just felt energetic to me, like, oh, I was getting. It's like when you get
Yeah.
excited about something versus when it's dead or it feels boring or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that tracks pretty closely. I just, yeah, something feels unresolved about it, even though it seems like it's actually already this simple. And I think I just gotta not let myself talk myself out of it and just
Right.
stay with
Yeah,
it.
that's what's happening. When you get uncomfortable, there's some subtle thought there grabbing on. I don't know what
Yeah.
the thought is. I don't know what that thought is for you, but there's some subtle thought there when it got uncomfortable that wants to make it. If you started feeling comfortable again, you know that you grabbed onto some kind of
Mm.
conceptual thought about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, you just saw that from the outside. Yeah. Yeah,
So if
it
it's like
sounds
uncomfortable, and then you might have a thought that says something like, "Oh, that's really close." Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's close. And now you're paying attention to the thought and
mm.
not, and it may go from there into a deeper thought reflection, and then something happens, and you got to answer work or something. But um, you have to watch for those subtle thoughts that want to bring the narrative back in.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of flavors of those thoughts that come up. The one that seems to be the most sneaky, just because it was easy to remember to point it out, is like and now what? That's basically some version of that thought will, because
Yes.
it'll, yeah, okay. Actually, that's often, not always, but that's often,
Your expectation. There's an expectation thought.
but yes, what do I do with that thought?
Don't grab a
Just
hold of
don't,
it.
oh, oh.
You ever seen that video with that lady that's that had an awakening and the thought that was holding her up was like, I'm bored. What's now? What now? I'm bored.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think she was at one of the retreats.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Um, oh,
So you kind of have to explore for the sake of exploring because you have an expectation thought showing up. If it's like an and now what? That's the mind saying, okay, I've done your bidding. I've done this enough. Now
yeah,
when's something gonna happen? Or what's next? Or
yeah,
this
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
working, we should try something else. That's a hook. It hooks you back in. And you might even give up on an inquiry, or you might say, oh, this practice isn't working.
Yeah.
Because that's the algorithm talking and taking back over control. Very subtle.
Yeah. No, it doesn't feel like that's what's happening, but when you describe it, that's exactly what the effect is. Because I'll have that thought or some version of it, which is, yeah, it's either and now what, or it's but I can't just stay here, which is really a different version of that thought because the implied reason is I can't stay here because nothing's happening or I'm not doing anything, and and now what? And then
Regardless if it's an expectation thought or I can't just stay here, it is the urge trying to take back control. It's just trying to take back control conceptually because it doesn't want to feel uncomfortable, probably.
yeah, I think
Or
if
it
I
or
were
it
into
just
it a
wants to
while,
be in charge. It just wants to be in charge.
yeah, it's
But if it
yeah,
says so now what, that's a big clue. That shows you the frame that your mind's coming from.
okay.
There's some
No,
sort of
that can
there's
work
an
too.
expectation in some way there,
I
even if
think
it's just boredom.
yeah, it sounds very uh not even undramatic, just like yeah, boring or
It
silly at the
doesn't
bottom.
it does, yeah, that's the thing about the subtle thoughts is they don't have to be something that's grabbing. It
Yeah,
doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be very subtle. Like, so now what?
right. But you're right. The net effect is it directs me back into, well, I guess I better think about things and do things because it convinces me that like there's nothing to find here or nothing else is happening. So, and now what? Yeah.
It's not enough. This moment is not enough. I need something else to happen. But is that true?
Yeah, okay. That I need to actually question it rather than just it's so yeah.
Very slippery, very sneaky,
Okay.
very
Okay.
subtle.
That's actually very helpful. It's I want to kind of slap myself, but yeah, this um mm,
Yeah, because after a realization, just seeing, just hearing, just sound, like that's enough. The organism doesn't need something else to happen to make things okay or to
mm,
even in death, it's what is.
yeah.
But when you're working and the mind's in control and it gets to a point, it's like, oh, you want to, okay, we can calm down. We can get some stillness. That feels pretty good. That feels good. And then it'll get to a point, oh, you're getting really still now. And then you let that go. It's like that's how the it doesn't want it wants to be conceptual,
Yeah.
wants to be in charge. And if you ever bump up against it where you really have a moment, that uncomfortability you're talking about, that's part of it. It's restless. It's like,
Mm,
I don't remember if you were at this one or not, but it's like I was telling Nathan, if you're bored, just sit there, be with your boredom and don't do any practice. The
right.
mind will absolutely fucking scream at you and you'll feel the pulsation all in your body, the urge to just get up and walk around or tap your knee or pick your phone up or just get up and walk or whatever. It's like that's how strong the urge can be
Mhm.
to do something besides do anything this moment isn't good enough. Do anything at all to make it different.
This might, I don't know how to frame this question. If you remember, for you, when this was becoming clearer, did it feel like the urge stopped trying to grab things once it saw or that it was futile, or is it more like the urge still came up, but it didn't have power, like there was nothing, no need to react to it?
It was both, really.
Hmm.
It was, but see, my first awakening was I was doing inquiry like crazy for 2 or 3 years, but I didn't know that's what I was doing.
Hmm.
So in one way, it was great because I had an innocence to it because I didn't have an expectation because I didn't know anything about Zen or meditation or anything at 14 years old. I was just asking questions about suffering and I
Hmm.
would just look up at the ceiling and I would just wonder. I was wondering,
Hmm.
like, why are people here? And I would like wonder and I would have all these thoughts come up and in a way, I wasn't accepting them. I didn't know I was doing that.
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
doing perfect inquiry back then. And I had no idea
Hmm.
because I didn't have an expectation because I wasn't seeking. And I don't know, like, so when I'm trying to talk to people now about it, for me, it didn't work that way. So the Angelo method, when he talks about that's just a thought, that's sort of what we're talking about here. It's like it's just a thought. You don't have to grab it. You don't have to follow it. You know, when mine happened in the mall, I wasn't even doing practice or doing anything at that moment. I was just doing whatever.
All right.
But an intellectual mind will not be satisfied with nothing. It won't. It wants to fix. It wants to put something together or take something apart or make it better or solve it.
Yeah, it's silly 'cause I feel like if I could, several years ago me could just somehow teleport into this, he'd be blown away like, wait, but I'm not here. Like, but it aspects of the experience regularly feel, but and yet that doesn't mean anything. And because still there's this sense of like, and now what? And
Aspects of the experience feel like what?
uh just like immediate, transparent,
Yeah.
um, dreamlike.
Yeah.
But that's
Well, that could be a portion of dissolving, and there are effects of that. Yeah. That doesn't mean that there's because this central thing doesn't mean there's failure or anything like that. That is, you are already everyone is already this. So you may come into contact with it sometimes anyway, you know. There
yeah.
may be
Maybe that's my
flexing,
point of
there may be relaxing of the contraction for whatever reason. Like you said, tiredness or like I told Kara at the computer at 4 a.m. I'd worked my ass off all night and I was super exhausted. I just didn't have nothing left and I wasn't trying to practice or doing anything. I had practiced before I came to work and I was just sitting there and I was just like, and I just locked in for a moment and just happened to look at the screen and there was just no fight in me at all. I was exhausted. I had like three patients. I was it was just like, uh, and and it just collapsed and I was stunned. And then the mind kicked back in at some point and was like,
Mm. Yeah, and again, it's so subjective that we could be talking about totally different things. But what I mean is I think something similar of, and maybe this is what everyone always says about, it's not about fireworks, and I know that, and this is maybe part of the frustration that in terms of just sensorial phenomenological experience of this going away or things coming, that's and I've gone about this backwards, that all of my practice being eyes open meditation, drilling into the visual field, so it's not surprising. But that's been loosening for years, and now it's somewhat regular. But again, I'm sure it can be much, much more so the case. But thoughts are so sticky that it's amusing in a frustrating way that all the like fireworks like doesn't change anything if the thoughts are still
because it's never been about the fireworks, it's about
exact.
identification.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's I guess what I meant of just, a few years ago me would think that, oh, look, you found it, you figured it out, but then very quickly realize, nope, no, it does, none of that actually really matters. It's about the identification with the thoughts, and I can just try to sit in this, but then the thoughts will, if they're still saying, and now what, they've still got the stickiness.
So like after all this time, if I told you and I really meant it and I said, well, I figured it out, I would be conceptually believing a thought again about this
Mm,
experience.
yeah, okay.
That would still be my master. It's like when someone says, I am formless awareness. They conceptually now have a belief in being formless awareness, and they're totally in conceptual land. And it doesn't matter if they said, I believe I'm a tortoise or I believe I'm a woman or whatever it is. Conceptually, they're in conceptual world,
Yeah.
regardless.
Mm.
So I think there's definitely some sort of subtle expectation going on there.
Yeah, probably not so subtle, but I think it's the ways that it hooks me in are subtle,
I
and I
mean,
can,
I mean, in the moment that you're working on it, like when you're
yeah,
there and
yeah,
it's still, and there's a little bit of uncomfortableness or just boredom. Like that lady was bored. She said she was bored, and she got real bored, and the thoughts got real quiet, and it got real still. But that one thought captured her. That one
yeah.
subtle thought, whatever it was something about boredom.
Yeah, it's just like it can't be this. Mm.
It was just like you said. It was like a so what now thought.
Yeah, it's like very
The
dismissive.
thinking, the thinking mind is unsatisfied.
Mm.
It's unsatisfied no matter what. That's what breaking the identification is, because the mind will never be satisfied with the identified mind will never be satisfied with
Mm.
just this. It wants to transcend or solve or control, put it under its thumb.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
And that's,
mean?
I just remembered because I think I even wrote about this. There are a couple times where I said it clicks, which is a bit misleading, but like, and then when all the resistance just drops for a moment, and it's, yeah, words, but basically seeing that it is that sense, the thing that feels like it wants to be in control isn't, like, seeing that that's what's causing all of the grabbing, right?
Yes.
That sense of wanting to,
But wanting to make it go away is control.
yeah.
That's all you can do is see it. You can only
Uh,
see the mechanism trying to trick you over and over
yeah,
again and not
yeah.
taking the bait. So when it says, when you're still and it says, there's a thought that says, so now what? You have to recognize that's not a person named Sean. That's just a thought
Yeah.
and not take that bait. And then just let it go. Just let it go, appear, disappear. Any grabbing. So now what? What? And you're in conceptual land again. And
Mhm.
I and then like Angelo says when he talks about his version where he just says that's just a thought, and you see it, it's like that's just a thought, and it's just like and you could even break it down to thought, let it go, and it says so now what? Thought. So like saying the word thought is obviously a thought being spoken out loud, but mentally when you're there, you're at the point where you know that's a thought without having to go thought. It's like thought, but you're staying
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
stillness. And there's no expectation here. You're just resting in what is. And then at a certain point, who knows when, who can tell you, whenever the conditions are right, there can be a shift of, oh, the aha.
Mm.
And then right after that shift, thought will come in and go, oh, I know what that is. And it'll say that. But if the shift happens, the perceptual shift happens, you'll immediately know that that's not you.
Mm.
But it doesn't have to be full of fireworks. It'd be a very simple perceptual shift is all that
Yeah.
matters. it's just disidentification. There's no, it's not transcending. It's not anything. You're not
Right.
going to more than likely have the reason the thing happened to me at the mall. I have no idea why it did what it did. I don't know. And it was it was explosive, but it wasn't explosive in like how the mind wants to categorize it. As when I say
Right.
explosive, it's not like gigantic fireworks and everything came off, or it's just like it's like the world went away and then it
Yep.
came back,
Yeah.
and it was about I think about 10 seconds, and I was stunned then too, and I was like, it was like from a teenager's view, it was like, you know, oh, I'm not this thing. I'm way bigger than this. I'm presence. I'm this presence. So we're locked in now on thoughts, believing we're the thought. We're identified with a thought. It's like a tension. It's like an urge. It's like when that perceptual shift happened, it's literally a perceptual shift.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, I'm this. I'm not that one little thing. I'm this whole thing that thing happens in. But when you get to the point of the stillness and then you believe a thought that says, so now what? You're believing thought again. And it's
Hmm.
frustrating. But if you judge it, you get frustrated, you have a thought, you get bored, frustrated, judging, you're in its grasp.
Yeah.
And you simply have to learn how to sit with that uncomfortableness and not take the bait. And that's what inquiry is. When you get to that certain point, you just have to not take the bait. And it'll grab you 1,000, however many times. But not taking that bait and seeing it trying, noticing that it's a thought that's trying to a boredom thought or whatever, or trying to make something happen and seeing that. And for God knows how many times you might go, "Oh, I see you," or that's a bored thought, or what you might even say it out loud and then stop. But there'll be a certain point where you're just seeing it and it says, "So now what?" You
Mm.
haven't gone that way. You're just
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, come on, Sean, what the fuck? And you're just like, I'm not, I don't believe you're me. Like there's like a pulling away of that
Mm.
attention, of that identification. It's like, I'm not going with you. I'm not going. And it's pulling and you're still staying there. And then it relaxes because you're not giving it the fuel of your attention to identify,
Hmm.
and then you stay here. You're not. It's like when you pull your face. It's like pulling your face away, like in a space movie, and it's like dragging you into a
Yeah.
black hole. It's like, "Urgh," and it's like I'm not going. I'm not going. And that's
Yeah.
resolve.
It's kind of what I feel like.
It's the resolve to not go. It's the resolve to not be dragged in the attention of it, of the conceptual world, staying right here. And the resolve is not mental. It's not mental. The resolve is energetic. It's here. It's like I'm not going. I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm not
Mhm.
going. No matter how many times I go, no matter how many times you pull me, I'm not going. I'm coming back here. So if you have the thought, and now so what, and you give it any amount of attention,
Mm.
that's like it's the attention of noticing, but it's not the attention of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, that's an important thing. There is it's not enough to just be like, I am not going with because like I can give it almost too much attention in reject it
Judging
actively.
is the attention it wants.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
That's
does not
okay.
give a shit as long as you participate.
Yeah,
It will
yeah.
say and do anything for your participation.
Right. It's just trying to
The
get the attention. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
it wants your participation in its magic trick. And if you don't go there, the pull will be hard. It will be a strong pull, and then it may become a very subtle one. It doesn't matter. All it
Mhm.
needs you to do is agree with it one time, and it has you. That's identification.
Yeah, that's a helpful
So then when you
metaphor.
get to the point where you are seeing that and you don't go, then the unknown is here. I'm not relying on thought to solve this anymore. This is not a discussion you're having. This is a
Yeah.
seeing. And then you might feel a lot of fear. It's like, ooh, what is this? and it could be a fear barrier like Angelo talks about, or like you said, it started feeling uncomfortable. I don't know what you mean exactly by uncomfortable, but there's got to be some element of fear there, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm holding my breath, but I eventually have to breathe. But yeah, I think. Oh, and Annie's got something to tack on. But this is really helpful. I think this sharpens it quite a bit.
To remember the important part for everyone that's listening, it wants your attention,
Yeah.
and if you commingle, if you take the awareness, the if you take the seeing and you give it any kind of attention that way, other than noticing it happening. You know what I mean? There's like attention of seeing it happen,
Hmm.
but there's not the attention of like, what do you want to say? It's just
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
you know, it's not going with it. And then if you get good at staying that, stuff can get real still. And that's what unbound consciousness is. It is not bound by the attention of the thought trying to grab it.
Hmm.
It's unbound. It's free right here in this. And it's like, and if you stay there in unbound consciousness, like he says, you're just like real still and you're just like, and then a thought says whatever it says, anything that it can identify to make you, it feels still make you feel like you're Sean instead of this seeing without a center right here. It's gonna, and then that glue, that attentional glue is like, come on, let's go. And it's enforced by expectations. So when I used to sit, it used to take me like 30 minutes to get any kind of stillness in my mind at all because the mind was just going nuts and just trying to solve. And I got better at it. It's like after realization, and when I sit now, like it's like 30 seconds, I'm in unbound consciousness. Like I'm just like boom here because the thought, I don't believe them. I don't believe them. And that belief is so powerful, you know. It is the tapestry of the whole algorithm is belief. And then what you're trying to see is what's not the algorithm, or that part I said about the attention when we really got into that is super important.
Yeah, that is a very critical part.
A simple way to say it too is the mind does not want to stay here. It wants to take you somewhere.
Yeah.
You must stay here. And it will scream and yell. It'll say, this is stupid. This is bullshit. This isn't working. You're wasting time. You've got work to do. You've sat long enough. So what now? It'll say, there's all kinds of sentences it'll say based on the conditioned personality it's dealing with. You know, it'll say anything. And as long as you believe it even a little bit, it's
Mm.
got you.
All right. Thank you.
Every time me and you talk, it's like we'll get a little bit, it'll be a little muddy, and then we'll hone it in. And then back to the end, it's like something super important.
I was like,
It's
that
like
was the
that's
thing. That
super
was the thing.
important. I've noticed it like three separate times we've done this on the Zoom. It's like a
Very
little bit like, I
patient.
don't know what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, I kind of do. And it was like hone it in, and then it's like, oh, this is it's extremely important. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Does that feel right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So then the next step for you might be if you're able to do that, then you might have a real fear barrier come up, a major uncomfortable. I think the uncomfortable thing is prior to the fear barrier for you. It's
Mhm.
like the edge of it because then it's like you're uncomfortable, you're bored, and it's manifesting as uncomfortable. Like I'm a go getter. I solve things. I got to work.
Yeah.
I got to do stuff. I can't do this, and that's a thought that's being believed. I can't do this right now. I need to do
Hmm.
something else. My wife's waiting for me. Whatever it is. Like even if your wife was gone for the weekend, it might say that. Even
Yeah.
if you were alone, it might say, "I need to call my wife and make sure everything's okay." Anything, it'll do anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of a clown. It's kind of funny. We could take it deadly serious. My mind will say stupid shit now, and I don't believe it, and it'll say just the funniest shit, and I'll laugh. Like I'll be driving in the car and laugh at a thought. that I'll have because it's so ridiculous. But yeah, if the fear barrier part comes up, then that's when your mind is really going to go crazy. Like Angelo says, it's like we're going to die, or we're going to go insane. This is insane. I can't do this. I got to stop. I got to stop. It might do something, and you might have that heavy fear-based feeling energy
Hmm.
come up. Something could happen. Yeah, I mean, it may not happen for you that way. It may just be uncomfortable. I don't know what'll happen, but
Well,
just
it's
just
good.
just keep it in your mind. If you do get past that point, and then something like that comes up, it's still the same thing. The mind's
Right.
going to try to grab your attention, and all you have to do is
Right.
feel without going into the narrative. Just let the
Same.
energy be there,
Right.
even if it's really uncomfortable. When I had the non-dual thing at my retreat, I had a gigantic energy release that was not Kundalini, it was the whole thing, and it was felt like it was like very uncomfortable. It was like pressing down on me,
Hmm.
and it was super uncomfortable energy. Like it was really like just like harsh feeling, and it stayed for hours, and I got used to it. I was also stunned by the experience, so the realization. So it was like whatever. And then the aftermath was all that energy, and I didn't sleep, and it was there all night and all the next day, and it was just like. But I got used to it, and I just had to. I didn't have no choice. I just had to sit with it.
Oh.
And the mind was going crazy and was saying all kinds of stuff, but the energy was so strong that the mind couldn't compete with it. Like any
Hmm.
commentary on it just was like
Yeah.
way out here. It was like the energy was like, pay attention to me,
Hmm.
and the thoughts couldn't even compete with it. So I didn't even worry about thoughts then because the energy was just so there and so uncomfortable and in my face. So if that happens, just don't go with the narrative. Still stay there. And
Hmm.
like Angel says, after a few minutes, when it realizes it can't, then that energy will pass or quiet down or dissolve or whatever. Just look for something like that and let me know what happens.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. But this is helpful. I feel almost silly that it didn't
That's a
pin that
judgment.
down, but
See, you're
all
judging
right.
it. Don't judge it. No need to feel silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, Annie.